Europe's race, faith and cultures are under attack. We have taken in massive amounts of immigrants, and on top of that we are taking in even more. 3 million was recently sighted in Iran, heading towards Europe, hailing from the Pakistan region. Massive amounts of Africans are traveling on boats on the Mediterranean Sea, and our reckless demand for multiculturalism craves for even more refugees. Illegal immigrants, legal immigrants, people on business that decide to remain, and even more immigrants are being poured into our countries. We are sitting here absorbing these extreme amounts of immigrants at the expense of our own people. We spend enormous sums of money to integrate them into our countries, to help them in wars, to fund them in their countries, and the results are shameful. We never get any proper solution. We teach them to come to us. In doing so, we make their problems even worse. We impoverish ourselves, depleting our welfare resources for the weakest in our society. This is our native homeland, and that is nowhere to be found in the rest of the world. Once we fuck up here, there are no point of return. The calm and reserved modern European doesn't have as many children as the immigrants do. We might have 1 to 2 children in an average family, while these immigrants are aiming towards having 5 in an average family. They also intend to mix race us, meaning mating with us. Do the math, as their numbers will multiply and explode, our race and social infrastructures will crumble. European men, women and children are both getting raped and murdered by immigrants on a daily basis, which are being underreported by the mainstream media, and they are even trying to hide the ethnicity and identity of the criminals. And on top of that, they are silencing the opposing force to this, labeling them as terrible and suffers from mental illnesses. What if a white European will kill an immigrant? Then it will fly all over the news, labeling it as a hate crime, which doesn't happen all that often, which means it is they who commit murder and rapes us. If you locate alternative media sources, then you will be able to find honest reports showing this fact. Yourselves might not feel the impact of the immigration, but your children and their children will be the ones ultimately paying for it. Europe's nations is out of white people. Europe is of the Christian faith. Europe is where democracy was founded by white people and maintained by white people. It is because of white people that people may go around freely and criticize. It is because white people that we are able to enjoy freedoms and the luxuries of the Western world. Look at communism around the world, on how much freedom and enjoyment they have in their oppressive and murdering leaders' state. Look at the Muslim countries and compare their women's liberties compared to our own women's. We are the freest people in the world, made by white people, intended to be passed on to their white children. In the very near future, that era of time will be over. If things do not change, we will become the minority of our native homelands. They will kill us. They will throw us away. We are nothing but an enemy to them. Our tolerance and forced acceptance will be our undoing. And in doing so, we will destroy tolerance itself.